All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bleav in Rams, presented by FanDuel, your home for all things Rams football this season. Erin Coscarelli alongside my guy, Tyler Dragon of USA Today. Make sure to do all the things. Subscribe, comment, find us on YouTube. You can also catch our show weekly. FanDuel TV SoCal weekly. And right now, guys, it is time for us to get to know the enemy. That's right. The Rams continue the AFC South portion of their schedule with a week 2 road game against the Titans. 10 a.m. kickoff start Pacific time. So joining us today, Chris Belcher. He is the host of Bleav in Titans. He's going to give us a scoop of what we need to know about Tennessee. First and foremost, Chris, hi. How are you doing?
I am good. And you called me the enemy. I'm just saying, we go way back to the Super Bowl in 2000, falling 1 yard short. I've only cheered for the Rams one time in my entire life. But we'll leave that for another time. Otherwise, you guys are the enemy. So I'm walking into enemy territory here.
You are outnumbered, Chris. Tyler and I will take you down. No, listen, I'm grateful we're able to get you on. It's been an interesting week for both teams. And I think, Tyler, I'll start with you first. When it comes to week 1, we saw what the Rams did. Thank goodness it was a nail biter at the end against that Texans pass rush. We were all I think we all did like a collective, I don't know if it was a sigh or a gasp when he got sacked for the first time, but he made it through. And I saw him today, Matthew Stafford, at Rams practice. He sounded great. He said he felt great. What was your biggest takeaway for you, Tyler, after week 1 when it came down to the Rams?
Well, yeah, all eyes were on Stafford and see how he would, his body will respond from those hits, not only the sacks, but just the hits that accumulate on the body and given each and every play. And after the game, he said that, it took a long time for him to get to this point, but he felt good. And Sean McVay said that he played well between reading the defenses and distributing the ball. Puka Nacua was exceptional, got knocked out of the game, bloodied face, came back in, was still balling. And the report between Stafford and Kua is obviously we all know it's one of the best in the NFL. But also it's notable that Davante Adams opens up that offense a lot for the team. The Texans' best cornerback was traveling with Davante, and Puka Nacua was getting covered by the second cornerback or the third cornerback, and he was eating the whole game. And so I feel like if teams are going to adopt that strategy, then Nacua is going to continue to have huge games, especially when Davante commands that much attention. That was notable. And then the other Rams newcomer, Nate Landman, huge a punch out that resulted in a takeaway when the Texans were threatening to go ahead and have that go-ahead score. That was one of the best punch outs, and I'm not using hyperbole, one of the best punch outs I've seen because, he did it straight up like he was facing him and then punched the football straight ahead and went out and the Rams recovered. So it was a total team effort. It was kind of a gritty win, low scoring, but overall, I thought I was impressed because Houston Texans, it would not be a surprise to me. Sorry, Chris, but I feel like they are the top team in that AFC South division. Obviously,
you're not telling me anything I don't already know, brother. They're sitting at the top.
Yeah, so this is that was a playoff caliber team that the Rams beat in week 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I think 14-9 eked out a win, big time performance from the defense. New captain in Nate Landman. It was an all-team effort there at the end, especially. And that was one of the things that Coach McVay said today at Rams practice. I I've been driving all over LA, you guys. I know you need to feel bad for me. I feel like I need like a fake person in the carpool lane so that I can just zip in and out of traffic. But one of the things that Coach McVay said today, gents, was when I asked him, I said, look, what stood out to you the most? It was such a full game effort beginning to end. He said it was the adversity. And this team has been tested in terms of adversity since last season, dealing with all those injuries that they had, especially up front on the offensive line. A couple of guys didn't practice today, Dotson, Avila, that we'll be kind of monitoring what happens with them moving forward. But Chris, what about for you? What was your biggest takeaway? What did you see out of the Titans? They didn't pull off a win against the Broncos, but certainly a strong performance from the rookie.
And that's it. That's exactly it. I recorded an episode that dropped on the Bleav in Titans feed yesterday as we're recording this, so Tuesday. And I don't know that I took Titans fans to task or what, but the sky is apparently falling in Tennessee. And here's what I will say about week 1. This is a very young team. In training camp, of the 91 players on the roster, over 40 of them were in their first or second year in the NFL. This is a young roster. And guys, what happens when you have a young roster? You're going to make mistakes. There's a huge learning curve. We have a rookie quarterback and a second-year head coach who they're trying to build chemistry because he's also calling plays with a rookie quarterback. So just all of those things wrapped up, 13 penalties for 131 penalty yards, 133 yards of offense, 7 first downs in the game. We gave the Broncos 6 first downs by penalty alone. All of those things, guys, and the Titans had a shot to tie it at the end. All of those things wrapped up, and they were right there. So that's my biggest takeaway from week 1 is the grittiness and the determination of this team. They were sticking together. They know what went wrong. A lot of those things are fixable, and I'm excited for week 2. I'm excited to see what this team is going to bring in Nashville on Sunday against yet another great pass rush, another great defense, and another playoff contender.
Yeah, and certainly something to build off of for you guys. Like you said, a young team, week 1, sort of, getting out the kinks. But what's really interesting? So the Rams are 5.5-point favorites on the road in Nashville. I was a little surprised it's that high, according to FanDuel Sportsbook. Does that surprise you, Chris? And what gives you a reason why you would think it would be 5.5 points?
I think the Titans' lack of execution is ultimately, you look how they played against the Broncos and against that elite defensive line. We're going to see an elite defensive line in the Rams. So there's no reason to think that Rams pass rush is not going to cause problems for a rookie quarterback, especially with J.C. Latham, the right tackle, being up in the air. He has not practiced this week. We really don't have a firm lean one way or the other if he's going to play or not. So that lends itself to me to the spread being just a little bit higher. You guys talked about Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. The Titans are not going to send one guy on each of them. They're going to play it by committee. L'Jarius Sneed is still working his way back from injury, so he's probably still going to be on a pitch count. Jarvis Brownlee and Darrell Baker are the other corners on the other side. So they're going to pass them off. They're not going to shadow them, but those two guys are a handful. And without L'Jarius Sneed being out there full time, I can see those guys being able to get theirs unless the Rams offensive line can hold up, because that Titans run defense and pass rush, they were in Bo Nix's grill all day long on Sunday. So I expect more of the same. All that to say, guys, I just think the Rams are very experienced. I think they have the edge as far as that goes. So 5.5, that makes sense to me. The under team total is the one to look at, though. I talked to David Behrman earlier today, 41.5. He likes the under on that, and I'm with him.
Why are you with him? Why do you think it's going to be a low scoring game?
That plays right into the Titans' hands. Look, it was 20-12 in Denver. The Rams 14-9. So I think week 2 we're still getting the kinks out. The Titans love low scoring games. I think in every game, almost all their games they lost last year, 14 of them, they were 17 points or under every game. And when they won, I don't even think they eclipsed 30 points in a single game last year. So that screams low scoring to me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, my question for you, Tyler, is, I have thoughts on what the Rams could have done to improve. I feel like they left a lot of points on the board. Penalties were an issue. Trying to capitalize on that Kobe Durant interception, they weren't able to. For you, Tyler, what do you think the Rams could do to improve on what they did week one?
Well, I feel like one is the quality of competition they play. The Texans defense is really good. I mean, when you have an all-pro corner and Stingley out there, you have a Will Anderson, a Danielle Hunter. I mean, those are Pro Bowl, all-pro type players. And Stafford, yes, he didn't get sacked that much, but there was some heat getting on him. And then when Stingley's shadowing Devontae Adams, it makes it kind of hard. And that's why Puka Nacua was able to get off. So no offense to the Tennessee Titans, but they don't have those caliber of players on the defensive side of the football. They have some good pieces like Snead, but he's going to be on a pinch count like Chris alluded to. But I do think overall execution needs to be better, whether that's blocking up front, giving Stafford a little more time. I do think another week of game speed benefits Stafford because he missed all the training camp, a little bit of rust that played into it. And then you got to capitalize off the big plays. I mean, you're not going to have a top flight number one corner following Puka or Devontae around. So take advantage of your opportunities on the outside. And I would also like to see them try to establish the running game a little bit better.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot out of Blake Corum. Jarquez Hunter, their fourth round rookie, he wasn't even active in the game. It was really just Kyren Williams carrying the brunt of the run game. But even on the flip side, no offense to the Titans, we keep saying this. Jeez, Chris. Sorry, but week three,
number one draft pick last year, 3-14 for a reason. Like we get where we're at. We understand the stiff competition that we are up against. So listen, no offense. I get it. I know where we're at.
Well, what I was going to say is, and thank you, Chris, we appreciate you so much. Week three, the Rams have to deal with the Eagles, and their run defense didn't look great week one, but they allowed, I think, a total of 114 rushing yards against the Texans. Tyler, do you feel like that's something that they kind of need to improve, not just week two, but also obviously going up against who in week three?
Well, they still should have nightmares about Saquon Barkley running roughshod over them in 2 games last year, over 400 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. So they certainly need to improve that. I feel bad because this is like we're bashing the Titans so much, but I will say this. Last week, I feel like Cam Ward played really well, especially for a rookie quarterback in his first start. So the Rams cannot overlook this game. This can't be a trap game for the Rams because the Titans had multiple drops against the Denver Broncos. And if they didn't have those drops, they might have pulled off the upset against Denver. I mean, I was seeing highlights. Cam Ward's dad, after a Calvin Ridley drop of all people, was like, oh my goodness, like again. And it was like, I believe it was like on 4th down. And that was like the game defining drop. So if they catch the football, they're beating pretty much a legitimate playoff caliber Denver Broncos football team who has arguably one of the best defenses in the NFL, especially after last season leading the NFL in sacks. So I say all that to say the Rams, we can't talk about the Eagles like it's because that presents a trap game for the against the Tennessee Titans at home. They're going to be in a raucous environment. The Titans fans are going to be loud. They're going to be excited to see their new hot young quarterback and Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick, has the number 1 jersey. Warren Moon handed it to him like it's a savior of the franchise. I mean, this is going to be a hostile environment for the Rams, and they cannot present this game and overlook a Titans team that has a lot of good pieces, going to play hard with Brian Callahan as their head coach, a UCLA graduate. I might say that, Miss USC over there.
Oh yeah. It's so on brand for Tyler to try to, call me out on this podcast. Like I'm calling the Titans a trap game. I didn't say that. See, Chris, you need to understand our work marriage life. He went to UCLA, which we are all very sorry about. I went to USC. So that's why there's this sort of like.
Nico Iamaleava is sorry that he went to UCLA too. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
So now it's 2-on-1 on this side.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Listen, we have empathy for you, Tyler, on that side of town. We get it. We understand the real football products come out of USC. But I digress.
When was the last time USC won a championship, though, Erin?
Right.
When was that? 2005?
07, 06. I was there. Thank you very much.
06 is when they lost to Vince Young.
That was like 40 years ago.
How dare you? This is a public mockery. I'm not going to take it. I'm not falling for this, guys. No, but my point in that, bringing up the run defense to me, again, poses as still the issue for the Rams, which it was last year. And again, they've got 2 games on deck where they're going to be tested. And it just seems like there's a weakness there that the Titans might exploit. How about you, Chris? Let's ask you, since you know this team inside and out, how do you feel like the Titans could potentially exploit and pull off a W and upset all Rams fans on Sunday?
You said it, run game. I mean, Tony Pollard and Kyron Williams had virtually equal stats last week, with the exception of Kyron Williams' touchdown. Tony Pollard, 17 carries, 60 yards, 3.2 yards per carry. People don't remember Tony Pollard ran for 1,000 yards last year behind one of the worst offensive lines that you'll ever see on a football field. Tony Pollard ran for 1,000 yards. So without Tajay Spears in the lineup, without a reliable backup, it's all Tony Pollard. And if the Rams are going to beat the Titans, they're going to have to bottle up Tony Pollard. He got going in the game against the Broncos, but as Tyler alluded to, how many drops did the Titans have? If the Titans execute on those catches and are able to move the chains, I think Tony Pollard is even more effective. I think they run him even harder. And what's a rookie quarterback's best friend? Other than a safety net at wide receiver or tight end, it is a running back that can do anything. Catch the ball, run the ball, block for him, all of those things. Tony Pollard's going to be a huge factor in this game because it's going to keep the pass rush honest. It's going to keep the secondary honest, and it's going to chew the clock and keep it a low scoring game, which is exactly what the Titans want. They don't want the ball in Stafford's hand where he can be comfortable in the pocket and just dink and dunk to Puka and Devontae and Kyron and all that. They want to keep it out of his hands, and it's a home environment. So the best way to do it is just chew that clock. And Tony Pollard is the way to do that.
Yeah. Erin Coscarelli here with Chris Belcher, a Bleav in Titans host, alongside Tyler Dragon, here to break down week 2. Can you believe it? Week 2. And it's interesting too, Tyler, you said it. I when we were talking to Stafford today after before practice, it was interesting. He gets the 60,000 career passing yards, only the 10th quarterback in NFL history to do it. On the same, day where he's starting virtually without any training camp. Granted it is his 17th season, but I mean, we were all kind of like, how's this going to go? Is he going to feel rusty? He's got some new guys. You didn't see a lot out of Terrence Ferguson. I don't even think, he played 2 snaps.
Yeah. Very little.
Yeah. Yep. And so I feel like we still don't know really what this Rams offensive identity is going to be. And, we'll get to hopefully see more of that in Nashville. For you, Tyler, how do you see this? What do you feel like is going to be the X factor against this Titans team?
Well, I'm interested to see how the Titans play against our 2-star receivers in Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Is somebody going to travel? Chris alluded to saying probably not. That means that one of them, probably even both of them, could get a secondary cornerback, especially if Snead is going to be on a pitch count. And then also, how's this Rams defense going to look? I mean, are they going to dial up some kind of exotic blitzes or exotic packages to try to confuse a rookie quarterback and Cam Ward making his second start? I want to see this Rams defense kind of make a statement. They had a pretty good showing against the Texans, holding them, to under 10 points. So that was huge for this Rams team. So how is this defense going to respond in week 2 coming off of holding CJ Stroud and company to under 10? So I'm really looking at the defense and also this Rams passing game, because from what we saw last week, the Rams probably aren't going to establish the run with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. They're going to use Matthew Stafford's arm and go to their 2 stud receivers on the outside, and Adams and Puka Nacua.
You agree with that, Chris?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's definitely the key for the Rams. I mean, if you take advantage of the Titans' lack of, I want to say lack of talent, but lack of depth in the secondary, challenge those guys and air it out. That's what Stafford does best. I mean, Brian Callahan said in his press conference today that Stafford is still a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. So let him do his thing. For the Titans, not only is running the ball with Tony Pollard key, that defensive line is going to be key. You have to run Stafford off of his spots. You can't let him just sit there and just throw the ball. You got to make him uncomfortable. And how are the Titans going to do that? Tavondre Sweat is not practicing right now. He got banged up in the game. Sebastian Joseph Day, a really good pass rusher. Draymond Williams, saw some good things from the linebackers. It's Jeff Simmons that just lived in the backfield against the Denver Broncos and wreaked havoc. So can Jeff Simmons do what he did in the Denver game and really make Matt Stafford uncomfortable? That's where it's going to be, because if they can't run Stafford off the spot, it's going to be a long day for the Titans.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I can't let you guys go because Chris, you made a good point. You said the score will be under 41.5. That's what FanDuel Sportsbook has right now. So go there, check it out. 41.5. What would you say the final score could look like, Chris?
I am going to live in the 17 range, but I'm going to take a flyer on the boys in the 2-tone blue. I think the Titans get this one done 17-14 at home.
Ooh,
that's some home cooking for you, huh?
Hey, listen.
That's some Nashville hot chicken.
Let's go.
I love Nashville hot chicken.
Man, I could go for some hot chicken right now. Let's go.
Yeah, nice. Let's do it.
Erin, what's your score prediction? You didn't say your score prediction.
Oh, he always has to put me on the spot. Look, I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. Only because I see it airing out, and I see they're just going to move the ball down the field with both, like you said, Devontae and Puka. I'm going to go with 21-14. Going 21-14. Rams win by a score. What say you, Tyler?
I have 24-16 Rams.
Okay.
I like Tyler's pick there because the Titans had 4 field goals out of Joey Sly last week. So we're going to be kicking some field goals. That's what we're used to doing. So I see those 3 field goals he added in there.
I mean, either way, it's going to be a good one. And as we were talking, I think right now it's an interesting time just to see what we saw week 1 and then how are both teams going to respond. They're both unique in unique situations. I think, what we learned from what we saw against the Texans, I think is promising. And I think Rams fans will see more when we go against the Titans in Nashville on Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific time kick. For Tyler Dragon of USA Today, Chris Belcher, Bleav in Titans. Go check out his show. He's got a good one. I'm Erin Coscarelli. That'll do it for us, guys. Thanks for letting me come in a little bit late. I was driving all the way from Rams facility, and I didn't want to get a speeding ticket or drive illegally in the carpool lane. So I appreciate both of your patience.
All good.
All good. Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
All right,
Chris.
you guys. Yep. That'll do it. Thanks for listening.